Okay, so now we're going to get into hearsay exceptions. Unlike party opponent statements and agent statements and other statements by co-conspirators that we talked about in the 801 video when we explained hearsay, these statements are still hearsay, but they're exceptions to hearsay. So you are offering them for the truth of the matter asserted, and they are out of court, but there's exceptions to them. Like I said before, the purpose of hearsay is to ensure that that statements that we're getting in are reliable. And hearsay exceptions are statements that the law has decided are inherently reliable, statements that people don't tend to lie about. So let's get right in. We're going to talk about 803.1. It's a pretty common exception, so that's why we're talking about it. Present sense impression, as it reads. A statement describing or explaining an event or condition made while or immediately after the declarant perceived it. Immediately after is really important here. The temporal time gap is incredibly important. It's present sense impression. It is not a statement of memory. It's not a statement looking back. It's not a general belief. It is an in the moment relaying of what is going on in front of you. So if someone was sitting right next to me and said, Kukalichi was talking, Kukalichi, fuck, this is bad. Oh my God. I'm walking around my house and I say, wow, I'm having a really hard time walking around my house. And someone overhears me say that and tries to enter into court to prove the fact that I was walking around my house. That's okay, because I guess the better example would be I'm walking around my house and someone else enters in the statement of me declaring that I'm walking around my house as evidence that I'm walking around my house. That's a present sense impression, because when I said I'm walking around my house, I don't have any reason to lie about that. It's just something that is happening to me in the moment. Another type of statement that is a present sense impression. It also, so 803.1 and 803.3, which we'll get to in a little bit, overlap frequently. But another thing that could be a present sense impression would be to put your hand on the stove. Wow, this stove is really hot. You wouldn't, there's not a lot of reasons to lie about that. The idea behind present sense impression is that you haven't had enough time to like formulate a lie in response to a particular event. It's like your immediate type of reaction, and people's immediate gut reactions tend not to be lies, because lies are premeditated. So that's the theory behind present sense impression. I did a pretty bad job explaining it, but hopefully it's pretty self-explanatory reading the rule, I think. So yeah, present sense impression. If you're viewing or sensing something in the moment and make a commentary on it, that commentary is allowed into evidence as an exception to hearsay.